This is Amy and Jim. And that's Clyde, their big friendly giant. I'm Caroline, a Lowe's Red Vest associate, and I'm here to help these homeowners upgrade their garage door. So, Amy and Jim, tell me about your garage.
It's not attached to the house, so it can sometimes be a chore to get into the garage.
There's no door, so the garage door is the only option. And to open the door is like straight up a struggle.
Having to open the door manually every time makes it really inconvenient.
It sounds like you need an automatic garage door opener. Have you considered getting one?
There was an automatic garage door opener in there when we moved in, but it just took up too much space in the overhead. So I took that broken one out and, kind of reclaimed that space. One of my main goals for the garage is to eventually fit our van in there, but the van is pretty large and it just barely fits in there, so we'd love to keep that space.
Well, lucky for you, automatic garage door openers don't always have to be installed in the ceiling. A wall-mounted garage door opener would be a great option for you. They are space-saving, ultra-quiet, and have an automatic lock for security.
I didn't even know that they did that. That's actually really cool.
This will be both a functional and sleek upgrade for you. And don't worry, I'll walk you through the whole process. Let's get started. This is how to install a wall-mounted garage door opener with real customers, guided by a real Lowe's Red Vest associate. Here's a look at the tools and materials that Amy and Jim will need for this project. First things first, there are a few requirements to ensure a wall-mounted opener will work in your space. The garage door must be a sectional one and no larger than 180 square feet. You will also need to take a look at the spot where the garage door meets the floor. Any gaps here should be 1/4 inch or less. Next, let's check the torsion spring and torsion bar. Amy and Jim already have these from their previous garage door opener. Measure the bar to make sure it's 1 inch in diameter. Now check that the bar extends beyond the bearing plate by 1.5 inches. There are a few more measurements to double check while you have that tape measure. At least 3 inches above the torsion bar and 8.5 inches from the end of the bar to the wall. Make sure there's at least a 2.5 inch clearance from the door edge to the wall. Measure the drum on the end of the rod too. Its diameter should be between 3 and 6 inches. Now, check that a 120 volt outlet is within 6 feet of the garage door. Next, test the door balance. Lift the door 3 to 4 feet off the ground. It should stay perfectly in place. Always follow local building and electrical codes. Do not use extension cords or adapters. Never modify the plug. And make sure the opener is properly grounded. Also, the garage door opener cannot be attached solely to drywall. Because their garage walls are unfinished, Jim and Amy can mount the garage door opener directly to the studs. Easy peasy. First, slide the collar onto the motor shaft located on the right side of the garage door opener. Make sure the bolts are facing up. Then hand tighten the 2 inner screws until they make contact with the motor shaft. Use a 3/8 inch open-end wrench to tighten the rest of the way. On the same side as the collar, use the socket wrench to attach the mounting bracket to the garage door opener. Lift the opener onto the torsion bar and snug the collar bolts to hold it in place. Use a level to make sure the opener is mounted parallel to the garage door, then mark the mounting bracket holes. Remove the opener and drill 3/16 inch pilot holes into the stud. Slide the opener back onto the torsion bar, recheck for level, fully tighten the collar bolts, and then secure the mounting bracket with a socket driver. Next, install the red emergency release rope on the bottom of the opener. The lock will need to be mounted on the same side as the garage door opener. You'll be drilling pilot holes directly into the garage door track, just above the 3rd garage door bracket. If there's something in the way, use the next roller.
It says the 3rd roller is usually a good spot, but that's gonna block our light switch and plug there. Maybe we go down to the 2nd roller? because it's still within the right amount of distance.
Yeah.
Mark where the garage door roller meets the door track. Then put another mark 3¼ inches above the first. Jim and Amy will need to open the garage door to drill holes into the door track. Pull the red emergency release handle and you'll be able to manually open the garage door. Align the top of the drilling template with the higher mark and securely attach it to the inside of the garage door track. Use a 1/8 inch bit to drill pilot holes at the 3 spots indicated on the template. Swap the 1/8 inch drill bit for a step drill bit that will allow for both 5/16 inch and 3/4 inch holes. This cone-shaped drill bit is ideal for creating clean holes into thinner sheet metal materials, like the garage door track. Afterwards, you can clean up any rough edges with a metal file. Next, mount the lock to the outside of the garage door track, lining up the lock bolt with the large center hole. Do not use power tools here, and be sure not to over-tighten the screws used to attach the lock. Check that the bolt has clearance by sliding the manual release to the locked position. If it fits, great. Open the garage door cover and attach the automatic lock cable to the lock terminal. Mount the control panel with inside of the door at least 5 feet high and away from moving parts. And always, make sure the opener is unplugged before connecting any wires. Match the red and white wires to the labeled spots on the back of the panel and tighten in place. Next, insert a screw where the control panel will be mounted. Slide the panel into place and secure it with a second screw. Run the wires to the opener and connect the door control panel, red to red and white to white. The opener's safety system uses 2 Lowe-mounted sensors to detect pets or objects under the door and automatically stop it from closing. First, identify the receiver sensor. This one will need to be installed on the same side as the garage door opener. Attach the sensor bracket to the garage door track no more than 6 inches from the floor. It will simply snap on. Then use a nut and bolt to attach the receiving sensor to the bracket. Do the same on the other side. Route the wires around the door frame back to the garage door opener. Twist the wires from the 2 sensors together, white with white and black with black. Then attach to the black and white quick connect terminals. Now the moment you've been waiting for. Time to plug in the garage door opener. Don't run the opener just yet. First, we need to check the sensors. The one underneath the garage door opener should have a solid amber light. The other sensor should have a solid green light. If that green light is blinking or not turning on, loosen the wing nut and adjust until the green light is solid. In the event of a power outage, this garage door opener also comes with a battery backup. Make sure to wear gloves and protective eyewear while interacting with the unit's battery. Also, don't forget to unplug the garage door opener before moving on to the next step. Open the battery compartment and connect the red wire to the red terminal on the battery and the black to the black. Slide the battery fully in, then close and secure the cover. Plug the garage door opener back into the electrical outlet and look for that solid green LED light. This indicates that the battery is charged and connected. If the green LED is flashing, it just means the battery is charging. It's time to program your garage door opener. Because door profiles and travel limits vary by model and manufacturer, follow the specific steps outlined in your owner's manual. Open the door and place a board under the center. When you close it, the door should hit the board, trigger the safety reversal, and reopen fully. Now try it again with something that moves, like a ball. That's exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, so it's working great. You want to give it a whirl?
Yes. All right, let me do the others. Yay! Oh my gosh.
Yes, look at it go.
Wow.
Quiet, smooth.
I mean, it was so much easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, my back feels better already.
Yay, why did we wait so long? And it locks automatically when it shuts.
It locks, everything in here is secure. I feel like our garage has entered the 21st century.
Finally.
And that's how to install a wall-mounted garage door opener. Nice work, you two. Thanks for watching. All of the tools and materials used in this video are from Lowe's, and you can find links in the description below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more how-tos like this one. And leave a comment below to let us know what you think about this wall-mounted garage door opener installation.